Here we're going to be working on putting a 07 M1000 engine in a 2012 Arctic Cat Proclimb. It had a 950 big bore in it that needed a new top end, but CPC doesn't sell the pistons for that big bore anymore. And the older chassis are like riding a tank, so I figured I love the power of the 1000. So I figured I'd take the 1000 and put it in here. I got a kit from Daltech. He's in Norway. You can find him on a lot of the forums and stuff. He's got to get enough orders before he'll do them, so it took 9-10 months before I actually got the kit. I was hoping to do this build over the summer, but now here it is, March, and I've like summer last, so about a year I guess, but from the time I started talking to him till I got it. Yeah, so now it's March and got the kit and I'm gonna start working on it. So I probably won't get the sled on the snow this winter, but it's really nice CNC brackets, the TCL and other brackets for the engine mounts, so bolt right in. A couple people have done this. You can find a little bit of info here and there, but with this kit the engine will bolt right in, and then it's just a matter of modifying the airbox and the pipe. And also, according to the internet, in 09, instead of having the diamond drive reverse, they went to an engine reverse. So I got an 09 and up oil injection pump, because the older style pump won't pump oil when the engine's spinning backwards. It won't ruin the pump or anything, it just doesn't pump any oil. So I got the newer style, that way if I don't know, leave it in reverse too long or back up for a long ways, I don't got to worry about running it low on oil and leaning it out. I've got new boots, since these ones are slightly cracked, I'm going to put on while it's out here. And then also for the engine reverse, go back over here, been acquiring parts for a little while. I got an ECU, same, you know, square, just like the one that was in there, but it's 09 and up, which will plug directly into the 2012 harness instead of the older, the 07 ECU. I would have had to repin it. But the reason I went with the newer one, I was originally going to repin it, but I went with the newer one because with that ECU, I should be able to just plug it in, and then now I have engine reverse, because all the stuff for reverse is supposedly already on that engine. Some of that we're going to have to see. This is just stuff I read on the internet. But yeah, it's basically that. I'm just going to work on getting the oil pump swapped out and brackets on it, and then I just realized that I thought I had them, but I can't find them anywhere. These two other motor mounts here. Got that one because when I took the I got a part sled with an 800 when the 950 was out, and put that engine in here. But when I took the engine out of here, it actually ripped the center out of one of the mounts. So I got a new one a long time ago, and thought I had the other two off the bottom end that I sold to somebody, but I guess I didn't take the mounts off of it. So I'll have to get a couple of those before I can throw it in the chassis, but we can at least get these mounted to the engine, get the oil pump mounted to the engine, and whatever else we may need to get done to get it in there. Alright, I'm going to swap out this oil pump for the other one. don't know if it's an age thing or just a different hose that they used, but the old two-stroke lines in here, pretty stiff. These new ones are still pretty soft and flexible. There we go. Now, since we're going with a different oil pump, I'm going to throw the throttle bodies on here real quick and check the oil setting. I don't know if you can see it. See if I can zoom in on it. There you can see it. There's this little line right here on this, and sitting at idle or no throttle input, this little line right here should line up with that one right there. That's where it's supposed to be set at. Sometimes I have a tendency to do it over just a little bit, just because extra oil, a couple more plugs, but it's going to last longer. Snap it on there. Where are we at? Just a little short on oil, so put this off. I'll run this in. See how that goes. Still a little short. This bag off. One more. All right, that looks good. It's going all the way to the other mark. Okay, so zoom back in here. See, the two marks are pretty well lined up. It might be a little on the high side, but then and you can see the other mark there is now lined up on it. So good on that. So I'll pull those throttle bodies back off. We'll flip her over, get the plates on the bottom. Got it all tipped up. Now we just take the supplied bolts that came in the kit. What size that one is that? That's what she is. Oh, I'm worried about that. It looked like it was pretty long. So that one's not going to work. I'm going to have to... Yeah, I have to shorten this bolt and tap it down a little farther, because I guess it's not quite the right size. call that good enough for now. In case I gotta loosen them to tighten that one in. Okay. It's not the prettiest in the world, but I had to cut a little over 1/4 inch, I think almost 1/2 inch off of it, so it wouldn't be too long. And then I couldn't find my tap that was, well, I don't have a tap this size metric. It's bigger than M12. So I just kind of took the grinder and worked this shoulder down, so it's just those threads, but it'll be fine for what it's doing. I mean, there's 3 other bolts in this plate, and it's a pretty stout plate, so I think we'll be alright. We'll go ahead and run this in. Run that one in. Let's get these 2 down. We'll get this one down. And I'll grab a good old ratchet. Yep, that one's tight. All right. Let's get our other 2 bolts in our other plate. And it's pretty easy to position because the engine mount's got to be on. Wait. Recoils that. Yep, engine mount's got to be on this side, so just set it to where the engine mounts to that side. Appears these holes are super accurate. I'm having some other issue. That one's in. Let's see. Might have to open this up a little bit. We'll see how it goes here. Try doing it gently. Alright, just took them up to the next size drill bit, which I think was like 29/64 or something like that. Oh, it's way better. I like that much better. I did a little scrounging around, and I actually found the mounts that I thought I kept, which I did. They're on the old base plate from the 800. So that works out. So I'm just going to pop these off of here, put them on there, and be off to the races. Alright, it was all snug down. Now we're going to go for the first fit of putting the engine into here and just see how she looks. Exhaust and the carb boot, see if I can get a different handle on it and work it past that. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright. That in a good spot. Get these out of the way. That out of the way. In there, over there, get off that. Just gotta maneuver it into the mounting holes now. Jar right there. So it needs to go. Rotate it up. There we go. Fits like it was made for it. Beautiful. Let's see when I get this bracket in there how that fits, but so far it's looking good. I'm going to have to take those cables off, I guess, because they're going to have to go over here. Fits nicely right there. I think I should be able to get that hose on. It'll just be a matter of getting this hose on. Get a close up look here how she fits. So that's sitting pretty much right where the 800 did. I think a little bit farther this way. That coolant hose needs to go right there. Might have to trim it a little shorter in the middle, possibly, to get the angle right there so it's not pinched. But, and then we got that hose we'll have to get run up to right underneath that jack shaft there. But there's plenty of room behind it. That hose will go right where it needs to. We'll be back behind the TCL or TLC, whatever it is, bracket. Actually, speaking of, let's grab that. And just kind of eyeball it. Still need to press that. Still need to press that mount into it. But yeah, looks good. All right, so to work on those coolant hoses. Might have to pull it out again to trim that one if that's what's needed. Get them sorted out. And I'll go ahead and get this bracket on, and then we can move on to working on intakes and airbox, and then pipe. And really, those are the only two big things. It's going to be the intake and airbox, and the pipe are what's going to take the most to get it in there. Everything else should pretty much just plug right in. All the wiring is going to plug in. I am going to have to rewire the boondocker that was on the other one. And yeah. For the hoses, the one on this side, the one out of the Proclimb, fit right up. On the other side, there's one down in here. Neither the Proclimb one nor the one out of the 1000 fit perfectly. So I just kind of used some of the old Proclimb hoses and the M1000 hoses and kind of cut them till they fit. I ended up actually using a piece off of that one out of the 1000. It's a big Z-shaped hose. And, well, I did one end and then cut it too short, so then I had to do it again off the other end. But got that to go in there for the hose. Got the mounting plate all in. The clutches are just sitting here. I just wanted to kind of get a look at it and see the plate. I had to grind the shoulders of these bolts down because they wouldn't go inside the cut on that, or the machined area. I don't know if I had to, but I didn't like the gap between this bar and the engine, so I threw a couple of washers right back in here just to space it off a little bit. And now these brackets are touching pretty good there, but I'd rather these rub than rub a hole through the side of my cylinder. So, and I've got all the mounts on. It's solid in there. This mount right here from the 800 and the Proclimb bolts right up. The only other little thing I've done so far is you can kind of see the little shiny down there. The end of the fuel rail was actually touching that. You can maybe see off the other side how it's more tape angled down. So ground that out so there's plenty of clearance around the fuel rail so it doesn't rub a hole in that. So now I just need to work on getting the airbox fit up, because these are too small in diameter and too close together. So I've got to, oh, come here. So I've got to cut this end off and blend this end of the box onto that, and that's kind of the next step going forward. Alright, I didn't get any of it on video, but to make the airbox work, I cut this piece off of the M1000 one. Cut it right about where it started to get skinny there, so I could keep the most width. And then cut pretty much right at the edge of this plate off, pretty much as close as I could get. And it was still too long. It'd make it stick way too far out the front, so I cut another section out. My nice straight cuts there. And then I took, because of the shape of it, I actually heated it a little bit with a propane torch to, it's mostly on this side, to get it to expand out, because it was actually a little smaller than this. Made it a little soft, so I was able to get it, apply it around, test fitted it, and then drilled some holes and riveted it. RTV'd all the way around, and let's see if we can get this on the camera there. That one's nice and easy to see. On the rivets inside, you can kind of see in there I put RTV on it, so if the washer on the back of the rivet or anything starts to come loose, it should hopefully stay trapped in the RTV. I've seen it work on other stuff. So